That's no breaking news, everyone. I will be talking about Batman cartoons. Not all Batman cartoons, but just enough to where I ended when I feel like, as this is what the podcast life is like. Now then, I absolutely despise the cartoon, and yet at the same time, I freaking love them. My mixed feelings come from the fact that it takes place in Gotham. Why? It sucks there. It seriously sucks. It's the only place that I've been to besides probably Las Vegas or New York, where I could get food, crack, whores, and mug in literally 5 seconds apart from each other. Now, while I never got any of that besides maybe the food and the mugging part, I was still offered nonetheless. And I was a child last time I lived in Gotham. By that I mean I was 18, but still. First up is, of course, Batman the Animated Series, the continued series, and all of that. I loved it, and it was basically my childhood somewhat. By that I mean I just watched the Justice League. Everything before, I watched that years later. But seriously, who are they fooling when they named the main character Bryce Wu? They still have him as a rich white billion McBillion sort of dude, and I think that sucks because it's so lazy and obvious, especially when they have his company still have the freaking gigantic blue neon W sign that Wayne Enterprises still has to this day. Like, come on, you could be better than that, or at least more creative. So it's like Batman himself was there giving them the clues and all that stuff because I would see, or rather, I would hear certain crap happen at school because even where I lived at the time, I freaking still heard about it. Freaking Batman does something, 2 weeks later, it comes out in cartoon format with a ton of little things changed about it. Like, I remember the time where he was fighting the Scarecrow. For some reason, they changed Dr. Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow's role, to Mr. Jonathan Swan. I don't know why. His name is public information. It makes no sense to me, since that guy's been to prison and Arkham Asylum more times than he probably should have if he was normal. The most interesting thing about it has to be the Penguin in all of this mess, and that is because he's an interesting figure. Simple. I freaking like the fact that he is arguably the worst person in Gotham to turn to when you need something, yet he runs it like a normal 9 to 5. I know this because I have had people who worked for the Penguin, albeit they're dead now, but still, I had people in my life that used to work for him where they got literally better conditions than a normal job. That's awesome to think about, yet also terrifying because it has a 99% chance of death or becoming crippled either physically or financially after their tango dance soiree with the Batman. Now, I have nothing bad to say about Batman the Animated Series. Every single grip I do have. Today's sponsor is ironically the Penguin, where tonight, this week, and this month, he is selling off a bunch of fish products. From sushi to gummies to fish fingers, fish sticks, fish burgers, fish ahoy, and many other things. This is your chance to be Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I myself have gotten some of his fish candy. It is gummies shaped like AK-47s that spit out gushers. They taste like Swedish fish, and they taste, liquid-wise, honestly, I don't know what, but it's amazing, and I'm fairly certain it's probably a drug of some sort. If you want to take the chance of probably getting invested into one of these products or all of these products, be sure to go to any local mom and pop shop in Gotham City. Now, why would you want to be doing this? Simple. They are half off, with some of them even being 75% off. All of this stuff I have was given to me for free because I got that hookup, yo. But if you didn't have the hookup like moi, you have to go to any Gotham mom and pop shop, like I said previously, and hope and pray to God they sell their prices that way. Because it is a literal roulette of every single location selling different prices of various different things. For example, at Bloodhaven, you could be getting some sushi and some gummies that cost you a nickel, basically. And then at the Gotham City Gazette, because there's a little stand in front of there, you could be getting away with caviar that usually costs $9.99, no decimal points, for a fraction, if not a quarter of that price. So if you're a fish connoisseur and you want any of these grandiose flavors that may or may not contain drugs, come on by. You'll have a wondrous time and you'll probably be on cloud 9. Now back to the video. Is inside the continued animated series and everything after that, where freaking everybody seems to want a relationship between Batman and freaking Batgirl. Now by everyone, I mean everybody that was involved in this craptastic masterpiece of film. I despise it with all of my heart because it makes no damn sense. Now if you're like me and you've seen any of the comic fanfiction stuff of these two people, every single one says that Barbara Gordon is Batgirl, which makes a lot of sense because they look damn near identical, with the only difference being one has more sass and ass than Batgirl. And even worse has to be the fact that Barbara Gordon is Commissioner Gordon's daughter. And do you see how sick and twisted this relationship is now, or do I have to spell it out? Well, tough luck, because I'm gonna spell it out anyway. Batman and Commissioner Gordon are essentially friends, making Batman, by extension, Barbara Gordon's uncle. In some weird way, by way of Commissioner Gordon and Batman are friends. Either business, pleasure, true friendship, I don't know. I don't want to know because I don't want to be a part of their S&M group. Even worse, however, is when you find out that Nightwing and Batgirl seem to be one of the best pairings. Of course, when he's not shagging Starfire or Zatanna anyway, but these two have a very, I believe, romantic relationship if the comics are anything, making things even worse, in my opinion at least, because who the crap wants a Batman and Batgirl pairing? Batman is essentially an uncle to Barbara Gordon, and he is directly or indirectly a father figure to Nightwing. I mean, I still don't know who the guy is, but according to the comics, he's been around for a while, and they have some form of relationship. Again, according to the comics, they seem to have more than a professional relationship. No idea, but seems to be a father figure role, in my eyes at least. And I don't know about you, but I would probably either murder or attempt to murder my father figure if he got with the girl I like, knowing full well how I felt about them, because Batman is the fucking man. When it comes to brains, he's called the world's greatest detective, for God's sake, and you're telling me he cannot figure out that his horny ass children are wanting to bang each other, or at least one of them wants to bang the other. There's even a sick, twisted comic about the fact that Barbara Gordon, creates life, shall we say, with Batman, who even says to congratulate Nightwing later, but she tells him he's only been around barely the time that she is stable. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, and I hate it even more considering the fact that everything about it is awesome. Seriously, every single other bit, if you just deleted this one piece of information, rock solid, amazing, magnifique, you couldn't get any better than this. Yet, they had to make this a cursed story like if it's the freaking Harry Potter cursed child. They even have my favorite version of Batman, which is Batman Beyond, having them had a real relationship with one another. I despise this so because it is the only thing that makes sense to me in this universe. Because in this universe, in my understanding at least, is Batman made every single wrong choice in life, causing every single person that he loved or cared for to either be dead or has left him because they realized how much of a tool he was being in this universe. With the main Batman of this universe being sort of a redemption arc for both himself and Bruce Wayne, since, well, the main character in it was kind of a tool himself. It makes it hard to want to rewatch any of the stuff that is in this universe because of knowing this information. The only exception is Batman Beyond, and that's only because it's there for like 5 seconds, and there's so much coolness in my opinion that it outweighs the freaking disgust. Speaking of which, I remember the story of Warner Brothers saying, honey, to us getting a Batman Beyond movie in the style of Miles Morales' multiverse. Do I hate it? Absolutely. It constantly feels like Batman Beyond is getting shafted for no reason. Heck, I remember hearing about where Gotham Knights was supposed to originally be a Batman Beyond game with Damian Wayne, being Batman Beyond instead of Terry McGinnis, which I hate because that was his time, that's his goal, that's everything for him. It was quite literally made for him. Damian Wayne has his own crap. Now that I think about it, Bruce Wayne actually has a child named Damian Wayne. Does that mean he's actually Robin? Or are the fanfic writers just getting lazy at this point? Either way, I despise him ever becoming Batman Beyond because that is freaking Terry McGinnis. There's also comics where Terry McGinnis dies for some reason and gets replaced by a time-traveling Robin for a few issues. Why? Quit shafting him like the milkman does to your wife. Thankfully, the next Batman cartoons are 1000% better, but that's only because they have no romance in them. The Batman is the first and is honestly one of my best and favorite versions of this cartoon character, with the only thing knocking off points in my opinion is Mr. Freeze, because every other version of him has some sob story that makes him likable. This version, nah, he's just a career criminal who got ice powers by being rammed into a freaking cryogenic pod by Batman one time, and now is just wanting to make the world a winter wonderland because it's easy to get money that way. Seriously, if you never watched this, do it. I recommend it 1000%. Now, sure, it has some odd bits, like having a female detective partnership with the Batman that just suddenly goes nowhere once Commissioner Gordon appears, but whatever. That's nothing. 4.9? Most of the time, that's still a 5 in most people's eyes. After that is Batman Brave and the Bold. It is just camp as fuck, and that is enjoyable. It made me actually know some of the old school villains, like the Music Meister, who ironically just got released from prison just now. I know this cause I'm not trying to sing or dance the night away, but that motherfucker seems to have a field of psionic shit or something. Because he's a metropolis, messing around, having the time of his life. It's either that or Mr. Split trying to cause a mess of things once more. Seeing as how I don't believe any of you want to really hear me sing and dance for the remainder of this video, I shall bring it to for now. By stating that Batman, Barbara Gordon, you like this crap, you should go fuck yourself. And watch Batman Beyond, watch Batman the animated series, watch the Batman, and make sure to fucking ignore the continued shit, as it sucks. And if you're in charge or know someone at Warner Bros. And DC, make sure to let them know. We shall stand together, we shall stand tall. We want some crap that doesn't suck for our boy Terry. And I hope you all have a good day. I am Joan Arc of the Total Justice Warriors, singing for the truth, by the truth, with the truth, doing everything for the truth, even though ironically this is just my opinion on things, with the little facts here and there sprinkled in to enjoy. And until next week, I shall see you all later. If you like, make sure to let it know. Subscribe if you want to see more. But for now, I bid you all adieu.